Welcome to the very first episode of The Larry Show. In today's episode, we have Yemi Oyefuwa, a TV writer and producer, an unapologetic 6-foot-something queen. Let's get this party started. You've had to work twice as hard because of the colour of your skin. Today we'll be discussing what it feels like to be black and working in the TV industry. Please help me welcome Yemi Oyefuwa.
Hello. I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Compared to you though, I feel so
Oh no, stop.
ready for an interview.
I look so
rather than a
basic.
party.
It's so
Yeah.
basic. So just quickly brief me on, what you do in the TV industry. Just let, the viewers know what you do.
I am a producer. I mainly casting and then usually onto a shoot to help with the contributors. I also am a writer. And currently, actually, I'm working with BBC Creative on ads and branding, marketing kind of aspect of TV. So, lots of things.
Is it hard? Is casting hard? How is casting like in the TV industry now? Because years ago I've worked in the TV industry, but it's definitely changed now. So tell me about how it is now, work like casting, etc.
I feel like sometimes people feel, especially like execs and stuff, they think you're just kind of sitting there on like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Yeah. But that is like
work,
the main work, and that's how you find everyone these days as well. So it's not too difficult. You do have to have a way with people. Talk to different people in different ways. There is a slight, I don't want to say manipulation, but there is a slight kind of sometimes seeded. Kind of element to it where, especially depending on the show, so I try not to work on those shows anymore.
Shade!
But just some of the more entertainment shows, sometimes there is a little bit of convincing, which I think you want people who want to be on a show to get the best results. But then sometimes there's something you can see in someone that you're like, oh, I think you'd be really good. I think you'd be great for it. Please.
So do you think the entertainment shows are much better? Because I feel like, during my time working at TV, I did like the entertainment show more. It was just more fun. So like, what do you think? Do you feel like it was more fun and it was more, versatile, etc.? So
I guess I prefer scripted to watch in general as well. I guess work-wise, and that's kind of where I'm trying to go work-wise as well. But I guess I don't know. It's all just work, isn't it? Like.
It doesn't stop, does it?
It just doesn't. It's a lot of hours. I feel like a lot of people think working in TV is a lot more fun than it is. And I think there are definitely fun moments. There are definitely things that you get to do and see and, be involved in that it's just unnatural.
Then you get your moments where it's like, okay, like hard work is just, you put in the hard work, and then you get moments where it's really challenging as well.
Oh, yeah. When you're in the office till like midnight.
Exactly, midnight.
With a shoot
like,
at
you
6
can't even
a.m.
Literally, on shoot, when you're on set, there's no such thing as a finish time. You just have to keep going.
You know what time you're getting there, you don't know what time you're leaving, and you have no say either. There's no union for like TV. What are our rights? We don't have no rights. It's just like...
So just quickly tell me, how did you get into TV? Because I did Runners. I think I found it on the Facebook page. So just tell me briefly how you got into TV. What was the stepping stone from there?
So I studied in America, and when I was coming back, when I knew I had to come back, they weren't keeping me there no more. I knew that TV and film was kind of the industry I wanted to work in, but I also know it's really hard to get into. So I started just kind of...
Was that in America or just... Yeah.
Both. So America, they weren't going to sponsor me to stay there to be a runner, basically. So I knew I came back 2015, I knew March, I was like, okay, by September I'll be home.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been home for like 8 years, so it was like, okay, I need to start some sort of career. I'm going back to my mother's house.
Yeah.
And she's not going to want me there for long.
Yeah.
And then, so I started just sending my like CV and stuff to friends and putting it on Facebook and just like asking people to send it around to any type of anyone. I needed a job, but then mainly like people in media, if they knew anyone. So one of my best friends, Ruby, she had her roommate at the time worked in TV.
Yeah.
So she passed my CV on to someone. So I was back literally about a month, and then I got a call. And luckily I didn't have to be a runner, which some people resent me for.
So
I know. I went in as a logger, which is just like transcribing
like
the rushes and stuff, which I didn't know existed. And so when they called me, they were like, "Oh, we need a logger," and I was like, I could do that. Googling like, what is a logger?
And like, it's crazy because you think, you start from like runners. Sometimes, majority of the time, it's starting from a runner.
I mean, it's still like I guess in terms of hierarchy, it's not. I'm not starting as an exec. I came in and I worked my way to the like.
It is more of like working your way from the bottom upwards, but it's different from being a black woman, especially. Being a black woman and working in TV my experience has been very hard. I don't know how your experience was in America and how it is in the UK. If there's like a comparison, if you're treated different there or if you're treated different here,
I think America's definitely. I mean, America's bigger, isn't it? So there's just more opportunities, and so therefore, I feel like if you were to compare, I would say the competition is a bit heavier here. And not to say it's not heavy in America. Everyone's competing for these roles, but there are more of the roles. And then when you start, when I started in TV over here, it's obviously very white. And that is just the majority of industries, to be fair. So it's not like that's surprising. That's not a shock. But it was shocking to see how few black people worked in TV and at the level as well. Like they were always the cleaners. Exactly. And I'm always befriending them. Or they worked at the front desk. That was a trend I saw a lot, rather than, being
in the actual office itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like in the US, I haven't been to the US working in TV, but just from what I see, there's more opportunities. The US is massive, and the TV industry there is, like I said, there's more opportunities, and there's a mixed, there's more black people, and then there's, white people as well. There's Asians. So there's a variety, but in the UK, I don't know what barrier is there that just hinders black women. We just have to work twice as hard to get to the top. And this whole, Black Lives Movement matter, I don't know where it's going to take us from here, but the UK is different. There's a lot of people that have worked with BBC and they're black women and they have to work years to get to the top. So, I've been racially profiled like so many times. I've walked into an office and they're just like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I work here." Like, has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, actually. And some like nicer buildings as well. Or I think more recently now it's kind of when I am working in TV or on set and people thinking I'm a runner and I'm like, "Oh, actually I put this together.
Hello.
I did this shit, thank you. But it's all right, it's cool. I will get you a coffee. That's no problem. I don't mind, because I don't mind doing the grunt work regardless." So you do kind of get that assumption that, and then again, you are usually the only black person there. Exactly. So it is kind of, I think it's harder over here. It's not harder. I just think it's harder because you have to always kind of perform in a way. And I don't feel like I personally can say there are times where I don't feel like I'm myself 100%. But with that being said,
sort of relate to you. Like if I'm working in TV and I see another black woman, it's not, "Oh, I want to be buddies with you," but I just want to be somewhere.
Well, just somewhere you can relate. If I need to shift my wig, you understand. You're gonna cover me. Like you're gonna tell me my lashes falling off or something. Do you know what I'm saying? You're gonna tell me my lashes falling off or something. Like you get it. And then also, you know what? I think the biggest one I saw, and actually I was so annoyed by it, was it was the cleaners actually, and they were eating, and this person in the office kept closing the kitchen door.
Oh, come
And so I'm always up and about. So I'd be up and about and I'd go in the kitchen and I'd talk to them and I'd come out and I'd leave the kitchen door open. Yeah. And this happened like 2-3 times and he'd always get up, or she, I can't remember, and close the door. Yeah. And she, then they were like, can you keep the door closed? I was like, well, why? They're like, oh, the smell of the food. I was like, that's seasoning, darling.
Exactly, seasoning.
When you eat your fish and chips or your salmon salads, no one's saying nothing, but a little bit of seasoning.
They treat like the cleaners completely different.
It's
and
horrible.
You don't have to treat them different just because they're cleaners, because it's a small world and life comes at you fast. Hello.
Everyone can be in that.
How do you think we can voice out our opinions? Are some people afraid to, speak on it? Because I'm going to put my hands up. I was afraid to speak on it in the beginning, but I think because of this whole Black Lives Matter movement that's happening now, that's happened throughout this whole year, how do you think we can move forward from this? Because
I feel like it's less talking to them and more us talking to each other. Yeah. And again, I feel like it's just being open with experiences, not being afraid to call stuff out. I think, again, there's this kind of insidious nature where we're all kind of going for that one tokenism position, when really if 10 people are hired for going for the same position or a job within a show or whatever the case is, okay, obviously not all 10 people might be qualified for the job, but if you're qualified for the job, you shouldn't be worried because there's another black person there. Exactly. I know that's sometimes the worry. So I feel like sharing information, sharing job posts, sharing how much you're making, how much you asked for, what, just how you approach things. I think that's what we need to do as black people is, just talk to each other more and look out for each other more. Because I feel like that's the most important thing. And, so there was a girl that I worked with and she was a black girl and I'd got her hired we needed someone to edit our Skype videos. But long story short, that was nearly 2 years ago. And when the whole Black Lives Matter thing, I posted this thing on Facebook. It was a poem kind of rant diatribe of a thing. And she'd messaged me on Instagram basically being like, when we worked together, you were so cold, you were this. And I was like, oh gosh, I had a complete different experience, first of all, so let me apologise. But it was she should have called me out at the time.
At the time.
Do you know what I mean? Now, but not, a year later, I'm still going to say sorry, but at the time, that especially, we need to talk to each other and be like, sis, what have I done for you to be treating me like this? Exactly. And I can just be like, bro, I didn't even realise I'm stressed, bitch. Everybody, the white people are coming for me, we need to eat, let's talk to you. So I feel like it is that. It's just calling each other out more, watching how we do it. Of course, you don't want to just come at someone.
That should definitely be normalised, not just for black men and women working in TV, but just
in general.
Because I might be at work doing something and, someone might look at me and oh, she's doing it wrong. Just pull me up on it.
Just let me know.
And this is what it is. It's almost like they limit some people, and especially as black women, working in TV. I've never worked in a company where there's more than 2 black women or men. Yeah. And it's
unless it's a black show.
Unless if it's a black show.
They love a black. They love to have at least 2 or 3.
Yeah. Never an exec or anything. Yeah. But they'll be there. There'll be 3 black runners and maybe a black researcher. Yeah. The cast will all be black. That's fantastic. Yeah. But people,
literally
making decisions.
Make decisions, and then it's a black show. It does make sense. If it's going to be a black show, I feel like it should be produced literally in and out, seasoned with black people. Okay, so tell me about hair touching at work. Has that ever happened to you? Has anyone been like, oh, I'm going to touch your hair?
Yeah, I try to be proactive with how I approach these white people.
I'm trying to not drag somebody in here.
No, but literally, because they do get...
to me.
It's it'll be a whole week of just commenting. And it's I appreciate the sentiment, I guess. Yes, my hair is different from how it was when I started this job. However... after the first 5 minutes of when I've come in and you've told me my hair looks nice, I don't understand what the conversation is. Yeah. So before I go anywhere, the night before, especially if it's overnight or if I'm taking a day off, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do my hair. Yeah. But I'll tell them what I'm getting done and I'll be like, I'm getting a weave. Yeah. So go and Google, because I'm not going to tell you tomorrow.
Don't you think it's sad that you have to pre-warn them?
It is, because I don't care about your blowout. I don't care about your... I'm not asking you the same... I never understand the fascination, because I guess I'm not fascinated back. But I guess that is what happens when you live in
Yeah.
that world.
Yeah.
So we know all about a blowout, and we know all about the bob and all the shit that you can do with your hair, the dyeing and all that.
Exactly.
But for whatever reason, you don't know what a wig and a weave or braids are.
Yeah.
I had crochet braids once, and they were it was curly.
Yeah. You didn't hear that.
They were, oh my lord, every day, touching, looking, how it's done. So it's sewn into your head.
It's so into your head, and I have no issue with it. But you know, as long as, because I worked at a place, it wasn't on TV. I did my hair, and he just wanted to learn about it. He just wanted to know more, but he wasn't all about the touching. Oh, let me see your scalp. Don't do
My
that.
series producer put on a contributor's wig once.
No, that's when they would have saw
He knew
you know where I was really from now,
He knew who to
because
ask.
hello.
He knew who to ask, because not once did he ask me.
Yeah,
Because he knew the box to his throat would have been severe. And that's all it is now. Like before, it's like, let me explain why what you just asked me is stupid, or let me like be tolerable. And now it's like a karate chop to your throat.
It shouldn't have to be like you're scared to come to work because you've done your hair.
Yeah.
You know, my natural hair is just, I choose not to do natural hair. It's just hard. My hair naturally is just hard. Some people's hair, your hair, natural hair might be soft and afro-y, but you know, mine is just, I just can't do it.
And then I don't want to be talking about it all day.
Exactly.
Oh,
do you wash it? The question I get is, do you wash it?
Do you wash your hair? Your hair!
No, it's in my nose.
Do you wash your hair? Dirty girl. What's that? But it's like, what a question.
Yeah, I get so. But then
How long is your real hair?
You know, I'm just keeping it professional because these times I have not passed probation. So I'm trying to, you know, keep it calm. So tell me about, you know, diversity in TV, because they've been trying to bring diversity in TV for a long time now. So, you know, I do feel like they're trying, but I feel like they can push more.
I think it's fake. Call it what it is. I don't. Sometimes I don't know how I work in the industry I work.
Yeah.
With how loose-lipped I am, but all these like initiatives.
You shouldn't be afraid to speak out.
It's just BS because again, it's all surface level diversity.
Yeah.
But the people making the decisions, the people higher up in the food chain, the people pulling those strings are not diverse. So, in it, like, yes, you can. You can 100 million for more diverse shows, but who's going to sign off those shows? It's going to be someone that doesn't understand that culture and only wants to see what they think is needs to be talked about, rather than someone from, like, why make a show? There's a show, Undateables, for instance, about which the name in itself,
Undateables, that is
insane.
rude.
You think someone with a disability came up with that? Absolutely
Undateables,
because they are from that community. Why isn't someone in the community higher up making the decisions for that show? Of course, there's one nonsense person saying, "Oh, autism. Let's talk about autism. It's important." Like, I feel like, sometimes the intention is there, but the execution is just,
because diversity is not only just for black people; it's literally
across
diverse.
the board, women, again, ability.
Short,
the
everything.
representation is just not there. And so they try to, when they do all these diversity things, it's enhancing, again, the surface level representation, but the people, again, the importance. And there are people that can do this job. There are people that manage people and make decisions, can do all of this. So why, especially over here, we just don't have anyone in that higher level that can make these decisions. So I feel like that's what needs to improve, not black people.
You know, I feel like it's there, but I just feel like it just needs to be a push. But sometimes I feel like they feel like we should be grateful that there's diversity.
Well, people say that. They say, I saw, was it Twitter or something?
Oh, Twitter says a lot of things. Twitter has no filter.
Why are they complaining? They every other advert, I see a black person. Number one, okay, yes. I'm not going to take away black from mixed race person, but seeing only white and mixed race people on TV can be very damaging to a dark skinned person like myself. So, you know, and then also if you in a bigger context, actually, if you look at even, again, I'll take these initiatives and the money that you're looking at. Let's look at actually how much money they're putting on overall. That's still a 1% of the population. So really, what's getting better? I feel like
it's going to take years for it to.
We have to do our own. We have to.
For it to get there, and I just feel like it's really sad because black people or black TV producers, not you, but you know, black people that work in TV me personally, I've had racism from black people working in TV. Has that ever happened to you, or it's probably just me?
No, I have worked with a useless black woman before.
Oh my god.
I have, but I wouldn't say. Yeah, she was terrible. I
Yeah.
don't know how she got. Yeah.
But because I feel like there's just that minority of you know, black people working in TV that are above us or above the position that we're in.
There's far and few
Yeah,
between.
far and few.
And they've
definitely.
been fighting the cause for time as
Yeah,
well. Again,
yeah.
I'll go to these like diversity seminars and brunches or whatever, and there'll be a guy there. He's been like, they've been doing this shit since the 80s, and I'll be like, bro.
Yeah.
So what's the
It's
why?
almost like we're in 2020 now. So when is it going to
still
change,
there.
or when is it going to stop?
We need to do our own.
That will be all from us today. A massive thank you to Yemi once again for being on today's episode. And until next week, goodbye.